Get up, detective. One last time.
A więc wracamy do miasta. Wiem, co mamy zrobić. Bibliotekę musimy odwiedzić, pocztę. Garda. No, jest kilka takich rzeczy. Ale sprawdzę najpierw, czy mogę sprzedać coś w Lombardzie. Boże, jak ten koleś wygląda.
Hello again. How can I help you? Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
No, jak to sprzedać? Aha. Nie, to miałem oddać.
Another time, perhaps.
No dobra, coś tam zarobiłem, nie? Gdzieś na tym placu ta skrzynka pocztowa. Czy on ma jakieś ubrania?
Everything's still cool here, officer.
O,
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about...
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
After all this mess, the broken seals...
An investment? What kind of investment? I hear you, officer. What kind of a sum are we talking about here? Sounds like a fair deal all around.
Corruption. It's just like
oh
us
yes.
or Seagull. A kid watching out of a window describing things going by.
Trzeba się jakoś bogacić, prawda? I miałem zgłosić tutaj to morderstwo, nie?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Right.
10-4, come in. Fireworker, over.
O,
10-4, sir, glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over. 10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give an 10-4. Anything else, sir? Over. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
poczekajcie.
Droplets of rain fall on the white on blue police livery.
Ja tam takie zadanie, nie? Zgłoś na komisariat. O fuck. Przyjrzy się karcie bibliotecznej znalezionej przy ciele. To może tutaj będą ci policjanci. No i tak muszę iść do Gerta, nie? Z tym ptakiem.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. Oh boy, they're mad at him.
Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over. So, do you know who hanged him? I don't know. Oh my god, there's more. You want something more?
Może ten coś
Yes.
powie.
What is it? Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
And you look like you don't bathe on
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay?
Nie, niczego im nie zgłoszę. Nie jestem w stanie.
Can I help you? What is this thing? What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes?
Wszystko w temacie. Czy ja mam coś na temat... Tak średnio mam jak ich przekonywać. Idziemy na plac. Skrzynka pocztowa. Gdzie to będzie skrzynka pocztowa, co? Czy to jest skrzynka pocztowa?
This Postlavantorie mail collection box has been... A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind. The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best... The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds about a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon.
Let's go back to Everard. This better be worth it after what we did.
Jeszcze nie. Teraz spróbujemy do biblioteki. Po tą kartę zewnętrzną czy coś takiego, nie? Tam było.
Welcome to crime, romance. Be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you... I am.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Why not? Was she not friendly enough? Were you not compelled to talk to her? Oh yes, okay, that makes sense. It's working then. Yes. Do browse our books, sir. Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell...
Denial is the way she copes with criticism. The woman before you scans the store. Her shoulders...
A fridge? No, I don't know anything about a fridge. Aren't you...
For whatever reason, she's lying to you about the fridge. Seems like you have to find your own way to the cellar.
Goodness, you were already doing good.
She smiles and nods.
Bo ja nie wiem, jak tu przejść. No oczywiście, że wiem.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm.
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled?
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put us. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Generacja daty urodzenia. A rozwiązanie? Co z nim? A, że mam mało tych punktów umiejętności, tak? Jeszcze nie. Dobra, zignoruję, ale zobaczę, czy gdziekolwiek tutaj jest jakieś...
Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The
-2 empatia, -1 F Spirit Corps. To po co mi to? Tymczasowa premia analizy? Okej, to mi się wydaje fajne. Aha, nie mam punktów. Nie ma tutaj żadnej miejscówki, więc to musi być tam za zasłonkami.
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the
Sir, don't touch that! I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't...
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
Everybody suddenly needs something from there. Leave the curtains be. It's what it wants. Thank you. Let's just talk about this.
Talking is always good. Ghost. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you.
Chodź tu, babo. Spróbuję cię przekonać.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to crime, romance, and biographies.
Ale jeszcze zobaczę, co mam do pićka. Budowa ciała. Budowa ciała. Gówno mi to da, nic mi to nie
Hello
da.
again, esteemed officer. I already told you. It's just a storage room for employees. Just let it go, officer. Go by.
She recites it like it's a poem, or like she's so tense, it's a miracle she hasn't snapped in half yet.
I'm not tense. I'm just... Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've...
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honor. Take it easy. You've broken her resistance. Pushing her further will gain nothing.
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail.
Wow. Void raves. Such raves may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. But officer, there's nothing natural about entire companies declaring there's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic art.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
O! Byłoby 100%, gdyby nie moje przemądrzałe rady.
Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans. You're no para-detective. You look nothing like one. And you're...
You look like one. Hey now, hey. You need the booze to focus, alright? The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then, rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
How do you know? Or...
Here we go.
You're part Simonese. Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any...
Certainly so, ma'am. I can assure you my partner is eminent in this particular field.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it? Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you? Yes. That chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared.
Dobra, wchodzimy.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to a... You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash.
Nie wygląda to tak źle.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Siamese trinkets and only an echo. No one is there. A hollowed-out, dark echo. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. You feel the tiny hairs on the back of your neck rise up, as if someone's standing right behind you.
Detective, you're the one in charge.
O Jezu, nie chcą iść. Obydwaj. Zaczyna się być interesująca ta misja poboczna. Taka siłownia, bym powiedział. Kim chce rozmawiać?
What is this place? I think you're right, though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do.
Jak ja wyglądam? No mam ten ryj przepity, mam. W jednej ręce to, a w drugiej jest to latarka, nie? A może wypijmy lepiej to. Jak to wypić? Tutaj, aha. No cholera jasna. Pij, dziadu. Może to drugie wypije. No nie chcę wypić, dziad. No ale nie to nie. Kula. Dam temu. Do gry.
A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights.
Nie dam rady.
There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't.
Wow. Robi się creepy. Nie biegnij tutaj, ludzie. Jezu, ale kurde, strasznie tu. Czy to muzyczka taka? Slipstream.
Looks
Starowilnik.
like someone tried to reconceptualize them. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one. That's a good question. Not quite. You do know that
Pamięć włosowata. Mam. Wiecie co, sobie to zapiszę, szybki zapis robimy.
a dusty radio computer sleeps on its wired frame.
Another radio computer.
This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC.
It's your call. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber. It's empty, like a beehive without it. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Sanguet. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I've unlocked the
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those
Fortress accident is good. Thank you. Please repeat. How can I help you? Thank you. And good.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing. A piece of paper unfolding like the filament slides out of its glowing nest. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production sketch. Fortress Accident employed 18 people. The bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping parole. But on the other hand, their obligations were piling up at an Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists? It didn't. No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers. One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good. The production schedule depicts their glorious descent. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large. They tried to make a 4 million real game. They thought they could bridge the gap with they couldn't. No, even then, success remained within, and that is until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. No, it was good. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Sulisław Jalisa. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless. The world had never seen their kind before. So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endless. Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss. On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at what is clear is that one day an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian lintel front. When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss.
Lintel, że Intel?
Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy. S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not that I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal. Her former colleagues would agree with you. The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making... Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow.
Ale jaja.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the... This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint. It looks a bit like an academic. Mini-me stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called R. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, albeit dark and cold. This vision also feels cozy in its own way." A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal."
To się robi coraz bardziej zagmatwane.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV-1 unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. Perhaps the web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap. Someone very important, the leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through whoever decides to call in to a call-in station. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6. There's no way a little basement studio working.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble.
Wow. To jest naprawdę ciekawe. Już może porąbane, zagmatwane, ale ciekawe. Gdzie ja jestem?
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it This must be the giant ice bear fridge that soon a gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Niech lepiej trzyma.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the... But where's the filament memory? It's not here.
Pomyśl wosolatą i znalazłem.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing.
Someone must have taken it. What does the note say?
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate. The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expired. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005.
We already decided to let the station handle this case, so there's no need for us to call.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pen. Most of these titles seem to be in the...
Good. We've examined the library card. That should be enough for our...
Okej, dobra, czyli mamy z głowy.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of...
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct... Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from... You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. Sulislav. Wasn't he one of Miss Lukanen's killed co-workers? I remember coming across this name when we were reading her personal log.
No dobrze. Aha, to jest jeszcze jakaś maszyna do
The
lodów.
bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside. A friendly, the paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Good question. I know. What is it?
The fridge buzz.
Aha, czyli dupa Jasio.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire.
A hollow ring goes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Nie o to mi chodziło.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can... The echo is so prominent.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Nie wiem, czy to jest mądre, ale...
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being...
After you, officer. You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man.
Dobra, jeszcze maszyna do lodów została. Czy ja nie miałem maszyny do lodów właśnie otworzyć?
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dream. Ice squeaks beneath your Kowalzund multi-tool, but your fingers slip away from the tool. The lid shutters tightly as before. Look, a black cable is running into the breaker box. Unplugging the ice cream maker will allow it to defrost. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Very smart. Opening the lid should be much easier after the ice cream maker has defrosted.
Jeszcze sprawdzę, co tu jest. Aha, koszula, tu mam ciało jako narzędzie. A tutaj mam gdzieś dramaturgię. Nie.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melted. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Kowalzund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker. You gently lift the cube from its...
We should take it back to Miss Lucan and Kilda as soon as possible.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want... Sure. Okay, here's some more rifles. An old Belmagrave rifle. That's rare to find in such good...
This should cheer you up.
It's yours, officer. You found this place. Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look.
No okej. Czy ten karabin jest coś warty? Nie. Ale żadnego komina nie widziałem. Wyjdę z biblioteki i ta będzie chciała informacji. Dobra, na szybkości.
Tiles on the cube are still smolder. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. The speaker comes to life,
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Is this the offset copy? Good. Please No, that's not it. I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of...
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can you please repeat the password? No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol.
Received.
Don't worry.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Dobra, nie ma, to spadamy stąd. Nie, dobra, tędy chyba muszę iść. Na piętro. Czy ona by tu nie kazała iść wcześniej? To są te rolety. Jakaś babeczka.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. So what kind of dye are you looking for?
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you find... I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system.
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong.
Answers? How strange. These, I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but...
It almost looks as if the stones and this person means you or no one. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you...
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook. Then...
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
Zdumiewa mnie, jak oni tutaj artystycznie, można rzec nawet, że namalowali te pomieszczenia, nie? To tak to wygląda, taka grafika, jakby no, ktoś malował po prostu.
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the... It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But well, there's always something going on in the world. During daytime, there are usually those kids.
She's heard of the murder,
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night.
She nodded.
Anything else, officer?
Kostka, nie, ale kule.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. What do you mean by cursed? All right. How about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real. Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else? I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce 1 diaper. We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a...
Creative.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor... Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tumut. Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in business. Besides, Slipstream is history now. All the remaining...
They were just props. Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it.
Oh boy, the fabled Revoshow ICT. You're in for... The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative...
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest... And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you.
Sounds like she really didn't like that. Fritta does the same thing.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in, and they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. Eventually, Revoshow ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast.
Sounds cool.
Oh, anything else? Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems. They certainly took their work very seriously. The usual, they ran out of money and, well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to... In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult. Especially...
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Anything else? It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation...
You should have known it. It's not really full of that. No one would store their...
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including...
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta
If the Whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've
O
been gone
fuck,
for
to jest
years.
zaplapana normalna.
Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore. Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some...
It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress, or whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
Pranks can be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity. Right, it used to be a gaming arcade. This is an A. My advice, don't base your business on a fad.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
Sure, I'm listening. There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head design. Yeah, and naturally, All the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in Kyton from then on. At least it had some spark to it.
As she shifts around,
Anything else? I'm pretty sure it's still... Sure, I'm good. I hope it clarified things a bit. I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts.
maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity? Exactly. Truth is always so but I'm glad we got this.
That's all she has to say on the subject. Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her.
Też tak uważam.
Tremble. The time is now. Taola. No, you cannot leave. The countdown has not yet reached 0. No, you cannot leave. The countdown has not yet reached Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer time for the show. For Taola. Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will... Okay, yes, maybe it is.
O, dałem radę. Jezus Maria. Dobra, jest parę rzeczy, które muszę zrobić. Ale zrobię to w kolejnym odcinku. Do zobaczenia.